Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Teams webinar. I'm Piet Vermeir. I'm working almost 7 years for ASP as a system engineer. And for those who don't know ASP yet, ASP is a visionary system integrator and managed service provider. We deliver and manage IT products using cloud or on-premise platforms. We are active in the Belgian mid-size enterprise market. We are a partner of future-proofed services like ServiceNow, Microsoft Azure, and Office 365. But we are also working with other vendors and on-premise systems like Cisco, Kemp, Checkpoint, VMware, and Veeam. ASP is a company with around 35 people. And situated in Brussels. Our most important partnerships are the one of Microsoft and Dell EMC because we're gold partnership in both. Of course, we are partnerships with other vendors and certified in other brands, but listing them all would lead us too far. So who is interested can view them all on our website. This live webinar is hosted by Microsoft Teams because we do a webinar about Teams. And if you look on the right side of your screen, you will have a Q&A window. On that window, you can ask us questions. We will try to answer them during the session, but it's also possible that we answer them after the session. First of all, I want to ask some thumbs up that you hear me and see my presentation for this moment. Okay, this is an overview of all partnerships and certifications we have at ASP. We do our utmost best to follow all technology and to learn the new features. But what is the agenda for today? That's about Teams. So the first topic we will discuss is why to choose Teams above Skype for Business, because they have some things in common. Then how to work with Teams and how collaborations with Teams are going with the application, how to organize meetings with Teams, and then the last thing that Microsoft has decided to give 6 months Teams for free of charge due by the Corona crisis. On the end, I will take some time to answer your questions that you have sent to me. So on the first thing we do, why choose Teams above Skype for Business? Then we have to go back a little bit in history. Skype for Business was introduced 19 years ago with Exchange 2010. At that moment, it was not named as Skype for Business, but it was named as Office Communicator. The enterprise markets embraced this product, so Microsoft decided a little bit later to make it a separated product of it and named it Microsoft Link. On one moment, Microsoft takes over the all-known Skype product, and then Microsoft decided to rename Microsoft Link to Skype for Business and use the same technology as Skype. The goal of Skype for Business and Link was intended for instant messaging, voice calling, video calling, and screen sharing. Since 90 years ago, Link and Skype for Business were always on-premise systems. But with the coming of Office 365, Microsoft also decided to make a Skype for Business online version. Microsoft Office 365 was growing and a collaboration tool became necessary. Microsoft Teams was introduced in 2017 in Office 365 and was the answer of Microsoft on Slack. The goal of Teams is to become the collaboration tool within Office 365, and it combines almost everything of Office 365. But next to Office 365, it's also possible to integrate with applications outside Office 365, and that is thanks to that Microsoft built Teams from scratch and is still adding new ways of adding applications. Nowadays, people want to be able to work anywhere on any type of device and have access to all necessary files without too much intermediate steps. This modern way of work confirms that such tools like Microsoft Teams enable us to have a more efficient collaboration, even with social distancing. Skype for Business is limited to instant messaging, video calling, and screen sharing. Active document sharing during and after the meeting was not possible through Skype for Business. It was possible, but you have to send, of course, an email with your notes. Microsoft Teams is a collaboration tool where people can do instant messaging, video calling, and screen sharing, but also share documents, websites, and use a whiteboard and many more. Microsoft Teams can almost replace the meeting room at the office. With Teams, your collaboration goes to the next level. So now is the question, how do we work with Microsoft Teams instead of Skype for Business? Now you have a preview of a Microsoft Teams demo I activated for this webinar. So the modern way of working is anywhere on any type of device. Therefore, Microsoft Teams is available in three shapes. That's web, mobile, and desktop. At this moment, I use the web version. The mobile version is for phone and tablet, the desktop version for Windows and Macintosh, and the web version for everything else. When you open Teams, you will get the following basic layout. So on the left side, you have the menu bar. Next to it, you have the submenu of the item you have chosen on the left side. So the submenu changes on the part you choose in the menu bar. And on the right side, which is the biggest part, there you find the content in Teams. When you open Teams for the first time, you will see the following menu items available. That's by default. So it's activity, chat, Teams, calendar, calls, and files. So I will go briefly over these 5 default menu items to explain what they represent. So in activity, you will see the display of all activity within Teams channels where you are a member of. So in this case, in this demo version, you see I have 2 feeds from 2 teams where I'm member of. When your company has also activated the calling module within Teams, you will see your missed calls and other call functionality in here. Chat, that's like we know in Skype for Business, that's the instant messaging where you can chat with everyone inside your company, but also outside your company when it's allowed by your administrator. And then the tab where all the magic happens, that's Teams. Here you will share everything concerning collaboration, files, documents, other sites, and things like that. But more thereover in the next topic. The next one is the calendar. This is just a display of your personal Outlook calendar. For the moment, it's only your own calendar, but Microsoft is working to enable here your colleagues' calendar so you can see them all in one window. The next one, that's the calls. is only visible when your administrator activates the calls option in Teams. If you don't do any calls concerning calls to fixed lines, mobile phones, and things like that, this one is disabled and not visible for you. In files, you see which files are recently accessed by you or by one of your team members in Microsoft Teams. It's also possible to view the last files accessed on your OneDrive by yourself. It's not that the menu is limited to this. You can add other things by pushing the 3 dots, and you see there are already suggestions from Microsoft by default. But you can also add external apps and other more apps. One of the nice thing that Microsoft has added to Teams is the Shifts app, which is easily to plan shifts in time of work and other factories. Now we know how the app is working, or the web version is working, or the desktop version is working. We can go over and see how we can do collaboration with Microsoft Teams. Collaboration across a company is not always an easy part. If you have a project and you need to get a kickoff meeting or a first meeting, then you need to try a moment that everyone is in the building, that everyone is available, and that there is a meeting room available. It's not always nice and easy to find that moment. You can simplify that meeting by, instead of going to a meeting room, plan a conference call. You don't have to require anymore that everyone of the meeting is on site or in this building. You just need to find a time that you can do the conference call. Then there is a second part. During this conference call, you want to share documents with the participants and want that they can be interactive on that document. And there you hit the limit of Skype for Business. Because in Skype for Business, you can share documents, that's not a problem. But working on the document at the same moment with different people on different places, it's not easy. Mostly it generates different versions, and then on the end is what is the best version or what is the latest version. Well, Microsoft Teams, it resolves that issue, and I will explain you how. But first, we need to explain how Microsoft Teams is set up for collaboration, and that means what is the difference between teams and channels. A team is a top level of collaboration. A team can be different things. It can be a department, it can be a customer, it can be a project. That's a structure you have to define upfront before you start using Microsoft Teams. You can choose to say every team, like we have in my demo, sales and marketing, it is a department within your company. And then your team is equal to a department in your company, and your channels will be projects or subdivisions in your department. Or you can say, my teams are equal to a customer. I work a lot with customers, and I will do a team equal to customers, and my channels are projects. So like I say, channel is a subdivision of a team. And I will explain that with a little example within ASP. For ASP, we also use teams, and our teams are equals to customers. Underneath every customer, we have different projects, so every channel represents a project. If we display the teams to a factory, you can say, like in my demo, the teams are equal to a department, and then the channels are equal to a project, or to subdivision of every department. Like we have here, we have you as sales. We have then sales east and west. So you have the department sales, and then you have the subdivision east and west. It's also possible. When you create a team, a new team, you will see that there is always one channel always available, and that's called general. This is created by default and has by default 3 tabs. You cannot remove this, it's always there, but you can well extend it with extra tabs. Every channel has different tabs to display and share documents or information. Like you see in the general tab, you have the posts. That is where you can post some messages. Is in fact equal by saying I sent an email to my project team to announce that I have placed a new document there. That's the same than sending an email. So this post is replacing this email. Then files is the place where you can put your documents and anything else of files that you need within your project and that you want to share with your project group or your department in this case. Microsoft also add by default the wiki options. That is a kind of wiki page where you can give it a name, type some content you like to know or you need to remember. But you can also extend these tabs by clicking on the plus, and then Microsoft will ask you what you want to add. And like you see, you can add a lot. You can add just an Excel file, forms, OneNote, PDF, planner, and so on. Everything within Office 365 is possible to add. But you can also go for external information, and it's displayed underneath here. Like you see, it's possible to add information from external applications, but be aware this can be that your external application ask extra license for this. Not on Office 365 side or not on team sites, but on your application side. Be aware of that one. You see the list is endless. It keeps going, and Microsoft is always extending day by day this list. On the end, I think it will be possible to integrate almost everything. There is also, and that's possible, that you create an organization-wide team. What is an organization-wide team? That's a team where all people inside your Office 365 tenant are added automatically. And this can be used as a team to communicate within your company with everyone without sending email, and to extract to everyone reaching your company, and even set files available for your whole company. Okay, but back to the beginning, we were organizing a meeting for a project, and we had the issue that not everyone is inside the building, that not everyone has the possibility to be in the building, and then we switched over to Skype for Business to create a conference call. But there we had the issue to share documents. Well, I said Teams is not fitting that limit and help us with that. So we will organize a meeting within Teams. So you go to your calendar, And then you can do a meet now, which means you meet directly with the people, or you can plan a meeting. And that's almost the same way of working like you do in Outlook. The only difference is you do it with Teams, so you get a lot extra. So the easy way is click on new meeting. And then you have a new window where you can add a title. Like for instance, project A kickoff meeting. Then you can add everyone that is required, like you normally do in Outlook. But if you have a project team and that's equal to the members of a channel, then you can add your channel here directly, and he will send out to everyone of that channel the meeting request. So you don't have to know who is in the team or who is available. If you want to see who is available and what is the best time slot, you still have your scheduling assistant, like in Outlook, to see all the free busy times. Within Office 365 and within your own company, you will see the free busy time of your colleagues, but with external persons, it's not possible to see your free busy information. So there you have to send out the meeting request like this, because you can even add external people, like for instance, I can add myself, but I won't see any free busy information because I'm an external person on this demo instance. Then you choose your date, time, when you want to do it. You can even make it a repeatable meeting request. You can add a location, but in this it's not needed. You can add one if you have meeting rooms where Teams devices are available. You can book your meeting room through this meeting request. Give a little bit explanation. And you push send. The meeting request will be sent out to the attendees. And in the background, Microsoft Teams will create a separated bubble for this meeting where you can share anything about this meeting. So if I click on that meeting, you will see on top that I have the chat functionality. So I can chat within the meeting with all people that are attending the meeting. And here is where that Skype for Business is hitting the limit and Teams not. So you can share files here and work together during that meeting in these files. That's the detail of your meeting request, your sharing system, but you have also now the meeting notes. So instead of everyone is taking his own notes, you can take your notes together and save it on one place so that everyone sees what important is for him or her. You have also a whiteboard. Okay, that's due to Corona, I think. But you have also a whiteboard where you can do it during your meeting to make notes or design some things, paint some things for the attendees. When you have the meeting and the meeting is passed, this bubble will not go away. It will stay there and you can download the information you need to put it in a channel or in your team. Like I said in the beginning, Teams is a way of collaboration and communication. So in fact, team can narrow down your email traffic. If you create an organization-wide channel, you, instead of sending an email to all and receive a bunch of reply alls, you can put your post, your message here in your organization-wide channel. You can even work with mentions so that everyone gets a little notification in his desktop app or in the web version or on the mobile app that he has to read something in his team. Also, when someone is mentioned in a team or in a channel, in his activity, he will see, like mentioned here, that there is a new message in a certain channel. So now, during the COVID-19 crisis, Microsoft stated that they will make Teams for free during 6 months. It starts from March 2020 and it goes to September 2020. How do you get this? Well, if you have already Office 365 in your company and you have Business Premium, Business Essential or one of the enterprise licenses, you have already Teams. It's more for the people that are using the Pro Plus or just the business license in Office 365. They don't have Microsoft Teams and they can use it for free for 6 months. If you are interested in that one, I would say contact us and we can activate it together with Microsoft for you on your tenant. And then you will get Microsoft Teams for 6 months for free. Besides that, ASP can also help you in setting up teams or try to define a structure for teams. We can help you with that. We can assist you. There are some nice apps that are coming now, and this is the one of the top application I found now is the Crisis app they designed. So that's an application that is designed in crisis communications. So you have company news, you have world news, helpful tips, frequent asked questions, links, and emergency contacts that you can add to that application and even make a request. It's very nice. And it's even available on Teams, so you can install it. There is wait, there is for downloading. There is a link here to how to install that application. I don't know if there are already any questions you have concerning Microsoft Teams and collaboration in Microsoft Teams. I will show you the Shifts app. And I create it in a team. I will skip the tour. What is the nice part of this application is that when you have people and you work with different shifts in your company, and there are people from shift A that want to switch to shift B, then normally they come to the team manager and say, guys, how can we can I change my thing and I cannot change shifts and things like that. Well, now they can do it even through the app without going to the team leader and the team leader has to search for it. No, they talk to each other. and they go to a member of shift B and they say, hey, can you take over my shift of shift A? And they do it in the app. And on the end, team leader is approving or denying the switch. So it is a lot less administration on paper, and everyone sees directly which shift he is in and has an overview of the next week and months. There is a question, how do you organize presentations like I do now with Microsoft Teams? That's the same way as you create a meeting request, but on the arrow you say instead of scheduling a meeting, you schedule a live event. And then you have content to share where you will say what will be shared during your live meeting. You can even choose to record your live meeting, what is happening now. So you can provide it to your attendees at a later moment or to the attendees that missed this live event. Calling within Teams is possible when it's activated by your administrator of Office 365. And then you have two types of calling internal of your Teams environment, so within your company, or you can even connect Teams to an PSTN line hosted by yourself or hosted by Microsoft to call external. Pay attention, calling external will request some extra licenses on Office 365 and request also some credits if you put everything at a Microsoft site. What I was forget to mention in the beginning of our live meeting was that you will receive a survey about this webinar. Please fill it in that we can optimize our live webinars and that we can give you more and more information about the teams or other topics that we handle inside ASP. So this is a little summary of what was handled today in our webinar already. Team is a continuous developing collaboration tool. It can be accessed easily because we have the web version, we have the desktop version, we have the mobile version, and Teams is everything in one. So now you have Skype for Business that you need for instant messaging, video and voice calling. And then you need something else or OneDrive for file sharing. So to combine everything, Teams is the ideal application for that. And like I said, Teams is included almost every Office 365 subscription except the Business and the Pro Plus subscription. Keep in mind, if you are using Skype for Business Online, Skype for Business will retire in June 2021, and everything will be migrated to Teams. If you don't have Office 365 yet and you are planning to take a subscription on Office 365, then you will not have Skype for Business Online anymore. You will be directly moved to Microsoft Teams. If you need any information, advice, or help, please send an email to me or to the global address of ASP, and we will try to answer your question. I have a question that where is the data of Teams interaction stored? Does it use SharePoint? Well, indeed, behind Teams, it is SharePoint that hosts everything. You can see that if you go to a team and then go to one of the channels or go on general and go to files, you have always the link open in SharePoint. So everything of OneNote, files and things like that and wiki is all stored in SharePoint. You cannot change Teams to say only store data in a local cloud, but you can add cloud storage. That is also possible, and it's not just limited to OneDrive, it can be extended with SharePoint, Dropbox, and Box itself, ShareFile, and Google Drive. So for local on-premise stores, I don't think you can add this by this moment. So they need a cloud storage. Okay, I will stay a little bit longer in this webinar. I want to thank you all for joining this. If you have questions, you can still send me through the Q&A window, or afterwards you can send me an email what was showed in the beginning of this and now on the screen you see. Thank you very much and have a nice day.